make a quick video on how to install a two-step MSD box in your 10 to 15 Camaro, since there isn't really any good videos on it and it's a really easy mod to do. Sure this goes the same for Z01s. I'm pretty sure 10 to 15 it's all the same. So to get started, we should just go right into where you should be mounting this thing at. I would just mount it anywhere where it's not hot, as long as your wires are going to reach. I wouldn't mount it next to your headers or nothing like that. You can see mine's right here, right underneath this positive battery post, or whatever you want to call that thing. I just took that off of there. It's held on there with one clip. Slid that right off of there, and I drilled 2 holes for the screws to go into the MSD box there. And that holds it on real tight. That ain't going nowhere. And then for my wires here, zip tied it to this positive cable going down. Kind of just ran it underneath the brake fluid there, and then I ran it over here, zip tied it right there to the brake booster over the AC line. And I got the other one where it splits going underneath the AC line, going over here and right into the connector there. They just give you these little dummy connector situations. You kind of just plug them into each other, plug it into your factory harness, and then plug the other one in. And then as you can see, I got the other wire just running over the intake manifold here. Underneath my heater core hoses, I stuffed it, zip tied this connector straight just so it stays there in place. Same thing on this side, just connect those up, and that's pretty much all you got for the engine bay. Like I said, dude, you can mount this thing wherever you want, pretty much wherever you want. I mounted it right here. I was gonna mount it right here, but it was kind of difficult to get an impact in there to drill the holes. But once you got your wires ran, your coil packs connected, and you figured out where you wanted to mount this, just make sure you got all your wires ran before you mount this to make sure they all reach. But once you do that, if you're not using your clutch pedal, you don't have to ground it, so just stuff your blue wire away. If you're gonna ground it, that's another thing. You gotta ground it or make some kind of sensor on your clutch pedal so it engages when you let off your clutch or whatever. I have a push button, I think is what they call it. It's a push button or a momentary button, so all you do is let go of it and it lets go. I don't have to turn anything off. It only engages when I press the button, and then it turns off as soon as I let go. But I'll show you that here in a second. But what I did here with the blue wire was just connect this. They give you a plug and play connector here, your white wire to your blue wire. Run that down here. Now all the way down there, you could see there is a rubber boot where I think it's the hood cable goes through there. And all I did was push that out, and then I slid that blue wire underneath there, or in through there. And I did that through the inside of the car. I didn't do it from the engine bay. And now that I showed you where that blue wire goes, I got it in through the interior here. I didn't do it through the engine bay. It seemed a lot more difficult. But I pushed that little hood cable or whatever, has a rubber boot that goes around it. I pushed that right through, and then stuck the wire in through the engine bay, and then pulled it through here. And then as you can see, come up over here, I mean, there's the wire running up through there. What I did here is pull this little fabric carpet stuff up, and I put the wire above all these clips here that pin in, just so I know for sure it ain't coming down or nothing. And then now you're to the point where you got your blue wire ran to your interior. So what you want to do is rip your center console up if you're going to tap into your cigarette lighter like I am. So what I did here was tap the one wire from my button, my momentary button. I tapped the wire into here, obviously soldered it and crimped it. And then the other one here, right here, other one here, I did the same thing, soldered it and crimped it. So what you want here is one wire from your switch or your button. You want one wire to run to your activation wire for the two-step, and then your other wire from your button you want to run into your 12 volt. So that would be my cigarette lighter fuse here. And what I'm gonna do is just throw this thing underneath the center console, or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna throw it underneath there, and then as you can see here, I got my button in here where the cigarette lighter used to be. Like I was saying before, I had to finagle this thing a million different ways. Here's my button from Blaine's Farm and Fleet, just some local store near me. It came with that little silver piece that you see, and it's what they call a momentary button. So when I click it, it's activated. When I let go, it's off. So there's no switch, no messing around trying to have to switch it off after I let go, and then try to switch it off as I'm going to grab second, or nothing like that. I don't want to be doing that. So I did want to mount it up into this cruise control button, but seemed a little out of my league, so I just decided to do this here. And I didn't want to drill into this just because I feel like I can make that work, and I never use that cigarette lighter. So like I was saying with this silver piece, is didn't fully fit in there in the hole like I wanted it to. So I found some rubber laying around, and all I did was pretty much just cut a circle, and just made like a little rubber seal there. So all I did was glue that rubber seal down, and then glued the button to the rubber seal, and it ain't going nowhere. Like I was saying with the wire, man, all you want to do is run one wire to your 12 volt, one wire to your activation wire, which is your blue wire again over here. And I thought I had these wire connectors, or heat shrink connectors, or crimpers, or whatever you want to call them. That's where I used here to connect the wires here, and then I heat shrinked them and wrapped electrical tape over them. But once you're there, you got all your wires connected, like I said, your activation wire, your blue wire, your red wire here in this case, our 12 volt. Once you got that all connected, start plugging all your center console stuff back in, and you're pretty much done at that. You can come up here, set your RPM on your two-step box to whatever you want it at. Like I said before, there's hundreds and there's thousands. So if you set it at 3, you're gonna get 3,000 RPM. If you set the other one at 5, you're gonna get 3,500. It's as simple as that. There's no other adjustments on this. Like I said, pretty much done here now. So I'm gonna go see what this sounds like at 3,500 RPM. And as you can see, the light is not on right now, which is how it's supposed to be. And then I'm gonna go hit the button and show you what it does real quick. Setting at a stop sign here. Figured I'd show how the two-step works real quick. I like to just throw it in gear, and I'm gonna hold this button, try to get it all in motion here. And that's how that works. I'll try to get an outside video if I can, but I don't got nobody to record for me right now, so we'll see what I can do.